This is the Sleep Historian. Each night we explore the echoes of the past, stories told slowly to calm the mind and ease you towards sleep. If you enjoy these quiet journeys through time, please like and subscribe, and let the next story begin. A gray horizon meets a quiet sea, the surface moving in long, unbroken swells. The air tastes of salt, cool and steady, carrying the distant cry of a gull. Wooden hulls creak softly at their moorings, ropes gently tightening and loosening with the tide. Nothing here feels wild or chaotic. The ocean appears calm, indifferent, vast. Yet this is the world that shaped the people later called pirates. To understand them, you step into a seascape defined not by legend, but by patient water, steady winds, and the slow rhythm of life spent far from land. As morning light spreads across the waves, small boats drift between larger ships, their oars dipping silently into the water. Sailors move with practiced ease, adjusting lines and checking supplies. The scene is ordinary, almost mundane, but it holds the foundation of everything that follows. Before stories turned these men into symbols of rebellion and danger, they were seafarers shaped by hardship, opportunity, and survival. To see pirates clearly, you must begin with the world they knew, a maritime landscape of trade, conflict, and shifting empires, where the sea offered both livelihood and risk in equal measure. Time drifts back to the late 17th century, when European powers expanded their reach across the Atlantic. Ships carried goods between continents, creating busy routes rich with cargo. Along the docks of a Caribbean port, workers unload barrels and crates, their hands roughened by labor. The smell of tar and salt hangs in the air. Trade is booming, and with it comes competition, tension, and opportunity. Pirates did not appear out of nowhere. They emerged from this bustling network of commerce, where wealth moved slowly over open water, and security stretched thin across vast distances. Walk along the shoreline where privateers once gathered. These were sailors granted legal permission to attack enemy ships during wartime. A captain studies a parchment sealed with wax, granting him the right to seize vessels belonging to rival nations. His fingers tap the document thoughtfully. Privateering blurs the line between sanctioned warfare and theft. When wars ended, many privateers found themselves without income or purpose. The calm shift from lawful combat to unsanctioned plunder was subtle. With skills sharpened at sea and few alternatives on land, some stepped quietly into piracy, driven more by necessity than rebellion. Further inland, towns supporting naval trade grow quickly. In a marketplace, merchants argue over the price of sugar and tobacco, goods brought from far-off plantations. Sailors spend their wages in taverns, exchanging stories of storms and shipwrecks. A young deckhand runs a thumb along the rim of his mug, eyes distant as he considers the next voyage. Life at sea is harsh, but wages on merchant ships are often low, conditions cramped, and discipline strict. The calm contrast between bustling commerce and individual struggle reveals why some sailors saw piracy as a chance for better pay and shared spoils. Return to the docks, where a merchant captain inspects his crew. He stands rigid, issuing orders with clipped authority. A sailor tightens the knot on his tattered coat, bracing for another long crossing. Merchant ships operate under strict hierarchies. Punishments for minor mistakes can be severe. Food is limited, space is confined, and disease spreads easily. In this calm but oppressive environment, resentment simmers quietly. The rigid discipline of legal vessels made the more democratic structures of pirate crews surprisingly appealing. The sea did not change, but the way men chose to live upon it began to shift. Out at sea, storms often batter ships without warning. Picture sailors clutching ropes as wind howls through the rigging, waves slamming against the hull. Rain stings their faces, mixing with salt spray. In these moments, rank matters less than survival. A sailor's worth is measured by skill and endurance. The harsh realities of maritime life forge strong bonds among crew members. This shared experience becomes fertile ground for new forms of community. The calm after the storm reveals a truth. Piracy grew not only from desperation, but from camaraderie formed in the struggle against an unpredictable sea. Naval conflict escalates between European empires. Ships bearing the flags of England, Spain, France, and the Netherlands patrol contested waters. In a dim war office, officials place markers on a map, charting routes vulnerable to attack. With vast coastlines and limited resources, many areas remain unguarded. This quiet vulnerability creates openings. When treaties end wars abruptly, thousands of sailors are dismissed. They leave service with skills but no prospects. In the calm void left by shifting politics, piracy gains momentum, fueled by men trained in navigation, combat, and endurance, now adrift in a world with fewer lawful opportunities. The Caribbean becomes a focal point. Its countless islands and hidden coves provide shelter for ships needing repair or concealment. In a secluded inlet, a small crew works in silence, patching torn sails with coarse fabric. Palm fronds rustle in a light breeze. The calm isolation offers safety from naval patrols. The region's geography makes it difficult to police, enabling pirates to strike quickly and vanish into labyrinthine waterways. The ocean's vastness and the land's fragmentation create a landscape where authority struggles to reach, allowing outlaw communities to emerge quietly along the margins of empire. As piracy spreads, rumors travel with equal speed. In taverns lit by dim lanterns, sailors speak in hushed tones of ships taken and fortunes won. A man traces a line on a table, imagining a route ripe for plunder. These quiet conversations feed a growing myth. The idea of freedom at sea becomes alluring, even if the reality is far harsher. Legends begin to form not from grand victories, but from whispered stories that stretch truth into something larger. In the calm glow of the tavern, the seeds of legend take root long before history records them. Step aboard a pirate ship at anchor. The deck is worn smooth by countless footsteps. Sails hang loosely, patched and faded from sun and salt. The air carries the scent of wood tar and dried fish. Pirates are not the flamboyant figures of later tales. They wear practical, weathered clothing suited to long days in harsh conditions. A crew member adjusts a frayed belt while checking the edge of a cutlass. The atmosphere is focused, not theatrical. These men live with constant uncertainty, preparing for labor, danger, and the relentless demands of maintaining a ship far from safe harbor. Pirate crews elect their captains. In a shaded corner of the deck, men gather in a semicircle. voices calm but firm as they cast votes. The captain does not rule by noble birth or royal commission, but by trust and ability. Hands grip the railing as decisions are made collectively. This democratic process contrasts sharply with the rigid hierarchies of naval and merchant vessels. The calm empowerment of shared choice gives each man a stake in the ship's fate. Leadership can be challenged, and captains removed if they fail to protect the crew's interests or safety. Beside the captain stands the quartermaster, a powerful figure responsible for discipline, supplies, and division of plunder. On the main deck, he checks a ledger, marking provisions with deliberate strokes. His authority balances the captain's, preventing unchecked power. If disputes arise, the quartermaster mediates calmly, ensuring fairness. This shared governance creates stability in a world where danger is constant. The quiet presence of accountability sets pirate ships apart from other vessels. Crew members know their voices matter, and this sense of equality becomes a defining feature of pirate society, even amid lawlessness. Pirate ships operate under signed articles agreed upon by every crew member. In the dim light of a lantern, men lean over a parchment outlining rules, shares of loot, and consequences for misconduct. One sailor presses his thumb into ink, leaving a smudged mark in place of a signature. The articles establish order, rights, and expectations. Injured crew may receive compensation. Loot is divided according to set shares, not whim. The calm clarity of written agreements keeps conflict manageable, turning a lawless life into one governed by collective understanding rather than chaos or unchecked violence. Equality aboard pirate ships extends to daily living. Food and drink are rationed fairly. In the galley, a cook ladles thin stew into wooden bowls, passing them out evenly. A sailor grips his bowl with both hands, savoring the warmth. Comfortable accommodations are rare. Men sleep in cramped quarters, hammocks slung side by side. Despite hardship, the knowledge that each man receives similar treatment fosters quiet solidarity. In contrast to merchant vessels, where officers enjoy privileges, pirates share discomfort and danger alike. This shared experience strengthens bonds and reinforces the belief that fairness is essential for survival. Discipline aboard pirate ships is strict, but guided by collective agreement. On deck, a sailor accused of theft stands silently as the crew listens. The quartermaster reads the relevant article, voice steady. Punishments vary, but they stem from established rules, not arbitrary command. Calm order prevents dissent from spiraling into violence. The knowledge that justice is shared, not imposed from above, maintains trust. Pirates cannot rely on external law. They must create their own. This quiet system sustains cohesion, enabling crews to function effectively under constant threat from the sea and hostile forces. Weapons are essential tools, rather than symbols of swagger. In the armory, a pirate inspects a flintlock pistol, checking its mechanism before wrapping it carefully in oiled cloth. Cutlasses hang from wooden pegs, blades dulled slightly by salt air. Maintenance is a daily task. The calm routine reflects practicality. Firearms are unreliable in damp conditions and often used only once before becoming difficult to reload. Close combat weapons take precedence. The image of pirates waving pistols theatrically belongs more to fiction than reality. Their world is defined by efficiency and preparedness, not dramatic display. Surgery at sea is crude but necessary. In the dim hold, a makeshift surgeon sharpens a small blade, wiping it clean with rum. A wounded sailor grips a rope, eyes focused on a fixed point above. The calm focus of those assisting reveals practiced resilience. Amputations and treatments are performed without modern tools or anesthesia. Survival depends on improvisation and courage. Pirates often recruit skilled carpenters or barbers to act as surgeons. Despite hardship, crews support their injured, offering compensation through agreed articles. This shared responsibility underscores the humanity within a life, often portrayed only as brutal. Pirates interact frequently with the sea's unpredictable moods. On a glassy morning, the ship drifts across calm water, sails barely stirring. A sailor leans on the rail, listening to the soft slap of waves against the hull. Navigation requires patience and knowledge of winds and currents. Unlike fictional depictions of constant action, much of pirate life involves waiting, watching, and adjusting course. The ocean dictates pace and direction. This calm dependency shapes their behavior, making them attentive observers of weather patterns and skilled mariners long before combat or plunder enter the picture. Supplies dictate survival. When fresh water runs low, pirates seek remote islands or hidden coves. On a quiet shore, crew members fill barrels from a shallow spring, their reflections wavering in the rippling surface. They gather fruit, fish, and firewood. These moments of replenishment are peaceful but vital. Without steady provisions, even the most formidable crew falters. The calm practicality of resource management counters the image of constant adventure. Life at sea demands careful planning and respect for nature, reminding pirates that the ocean's beauty can quickly become peril without foresight. Pirates rely on speed and maneuverability rather than sheer force. Their ships are often smaller and lighter than naval warships. On a breezy afternoon, canvas snaps taut as the vessel tilts gently, catching wind. A helmsman adjusts the wheel, eyes narrowed on the horizon. Fast ships allow swift pursuit or quick escape. This calm emphasis on agility reflects strategic thinking. Pirates avoid large-scale battles, preferring surprise and intimidation to minimize casualties. Their reputation for ferocity often outweighs the reality, as fear can compel surrender without bloodshed, preserving lives and resources. Approaching a target requires patience. From behind the cover of an island, pirates watch a merchant ship sail steadily along its route. A lookout squints through a spyglass, noting crew size and armament. The captain and quartermaster confer quietly, evaluating risks. Decisions unfold calmly and deliberately. They choose moments when the enemy is vulnerable, often at dawn or dusk. This measured approach reflects a desire to avoid unnecessary conflict. Pirates balance opportunity with caution, understanding that one misjudgment could cost the ship and every life aboard. Strategy, not chaos, guides their actions. When a pirate ship signals its presence, the goal is often surrender, not combat. A black flag rises slowly up the mast, its fabric fluttering in the wind. The symbol is meant to evoke fear, prompting the target to yield without resistance. On the deck of the merchant ship, hands tremble slightly as crew members weigh their chances. Many choose compliance, knowing that survival depends on avoiding unnecessary confrontation. The calm tension underscores a truth. Pirates prefer quick victories with minimal struggle. Looting is efficient when the enemy capitulates, sparing both sides from harm. Boarding a ship, when necessary, is swift and focused. Pirates throw grappling lines, pulling vessels together. Boots thud lightly on wooden planks as they cross. The air smells of sweat and salt. Shouts are brief, movements controlled. The aim is to secure the ship and its cargo, not to indulge in prolonged violence. A pirate picks up a fallen satchel, examining its contents with deliberate calm. Once control is gained, the crew disables weapons, gathers supplies, and evaluates prisoners. The process is practical and orderly, shaped by experience rather than reckless aggression. Loot is divided according to the ship's articles. On deck, crew members sit in a semicircle as the quartermaster distributes shares. Coins clink softly into cloth pouches. Each man watches patiently, knowing his portion reflects agreed terms. Injured sailors may receive extra compensation. This calm distribution reinforces trust and unity. Unlike merchant ships, where profits enrich owners far away, pirate crews see immediate rewards. The fairness of this system attracts those weary of exploitation. The simple act of counting shares under open sky highlights the stark difference between legend and the grounded reality of pirate life. Prisoners are often treated pragmatically. Many are released or offered the chance to join the crew if skilled. On the quarterdeck, a captured sailor shifts nervously as the captain asks about his abilities. The sea breeze ruffles his hair. If he proves useful and willing, he may be welcomed. The calm practicality reflects necessity over cruelty. Pirates need experienced hands to maintain their ships. Brutality risks retaliation and loss of reputation. By balancing fear with opportunity, they create a system that sustains their operations, while challenging the darker stereotypes that later tales emphasize. Pirate havens emerge in remote locations. Nassau in the Bahamas becomes a notable refuge. Picture a quiet harbor dotted with anchored ships, their masts rising like a forest of spars. Wooden shacks line the shore, smoke curling gently from cook fires. Pirates gather to repair vessels, trade goods, and rest. The atmosphere is relaxed but purposeful. These settlements provide informal communities where crews share information and resources. The calm environment reveals that piracy includes periods of stability and routine, not only raids and chases. Havens allow pirates to regroup and prepare for future voyages. In such havens, diverse cultures mix. Sailors from different nations sit around a rough-hewn table, sharing food and stories. A man traces a route on a worn map, his fingertip following familiar coastlines. Languages blend softly in the warm air. Piracy draws individuals from varied backgrounds, united more by circumstance than ideology. The calm mingling reflects an open, fluid social structure, rare in rigidly stratified societies of the time. These spaces challenge the idea of pirates as isolated outcasts. Instead, they form temporary communities grounded in mutual need and shared destiny. Women occasionally appear in pirate histories, though rarely. Figures like Anne Bonny and Mary Read challenge expectations. Imagine one of them adjusting a belt around her waist, eyes steady as she prepares for deck duties. Their presence disrupts assumptions about gender roles at sea. Records are sparse, but their stories suggest that pirate crews sometimes valued skill and resolve over convention. The calm acknowledgement of their roles highlights the complexity of pirate society. Though not common, their participation reflects a world shaped by necessity, where ability could outweigh tradition in determining a person's place aboard ship. Pirates sometimes welcome escaped enslaved people, offering freedom and equal shares. On deck, a former captive stands beside seasoned sailors, hands steady on the rigging. The calm acceptance within the crew contrasts sharply with the rigid hierarchies of the societies they fled. For some, piracy becomes an escape from bondage and oppression. This inclusion underscores the unique social dynamics aboard pirate ships, where survival depends on cooperation rather than status. The quiet reality reveals that pirate life could offer opportunities denied elsewhere, even if the broader system surrounding them remained deeply unjust. Despite moments of freedom, life in pirate havens is precarious. Supplies run low, and alliances shift. In a seaside settlement, a pirate sharpens a blade against a stone, listening to distant waves. Tension simmers beneath calm surfaces. Local governors may tolerate pirates when convenient, then turn against them under pressure from powerful nations. The fragility of these refuges reflects the unstable nature of the pirate world. Havens can flourish briefly, then vanish as politics and priorities change, leaving remnants of communities washed away like footprints in sand. Pirates often negotiate with local authorities. In a dimly lit chamber, a captain meets a colonial official, their voices hushed. A small pouch of coins rests between them on a table. These arrangements provide temporary safety in exchange for goods or promises. The calm pragmatism on both sides reflects mutual benefit. Pirate crews gain protection or safe harbor, while officials acquire wealth or intelligence. Such interactions blur the lines between law and outlaw, revealing a nuanced landscape where survival and opportunity guide decisions more than rigid adherence to legal boundaries. Religion plays a quiet role aboard pirate ships. While formal worship is rare, some crew members carry small tokens or worn scriptures tucked into clothing. On a calm night, a sailor sits alone near the bow, fingers resting on a simple charm, eyes lifted toward the stars. Faith offers comfort in a life filled with danger and uncertainty. Though pirate communities lack organized religious structures, individual beliefs persist quietly, shaping personal choices and providing a sense of grounding amid the vast, unpredictable sea. Rest and leisure are integral to maintaining morale. In a quiet cove, pirates gather around a small fire, roasting fish and sharing quiet laughter. One man taps a rhythmic beat on a barrel, while another hums softly. These gentle moments provide relief from constant vigilance. Stories are exchanged, some exaggerated for amusement, others reflective. The calm camaraderie reinforces bonds essential for survival. Pirate life is not an unbroken chain of violence, but a balance of hardship and respite, where simple pleasures carry significant weight in sustaining spirit and cohesion. Pirate legends begin to grow during their own lifetimes. Captured prisoners recount encounters with fear and awe, embellishing details. In a crowded tavern, a shaken sailor describes a pirate captain's fearsome demeanor, his voice trembling slightly. Listeners lean closer, captivated. The calm flicker of candlelight softens the room as storytelling transforms reality into myth. Such tales spread quickly, carried from port to port. Over time, reputation becomes a tool. Pirates learn that an intimidating image can encourage surrender, reducing the need for violence. Myth and practicality intertwine, shaping both perception and strategy. Newspapers in Europe and the colonies report pirate attacks with dramatic flair. A printer sets type with careful precision, arranging words that evoke danger and daring. Sensational accounts sell well, fueling public fascination. Readers imagine swashbuckling figures and thrilling pursuits. The calm hum of the print shop highlights the contrast between everyday industry and exaggerated storytelling. These reports often distort reality, focusing on violence and spectacle rather than routine hardship. The printed word amplifies legend, distancing public imagination from the grounded truth of pirate life. Ballads and songs further shape pirate mythology. In a coastal tavern, a musician strums a lute, singing of bold deeds and buried treasure. Patrons tap their feet softly, absorbed by the melody. The calm, rhythmic tune carries a tale of adventure that bears little resemblance to historical fact. Music preserves stories, but it also transforms them, favoring drama over accuracy. The legend of pirates grows richer in imagination, fueled by performance and emotion, creating an enduring narrative far removed from the disciplined, often tedious reality of life at sea. The idea of treasure becomes central to pirate lore. Yet most plunder consists of mundane goods: sugar, cloth, tools, and food. On deck, pirates sort through crates, stacking practical supplies in neat piles. A man runs his hand along a coarse sack of grain, appreciating its value. Gold and jewels are rare finds. The calm routine of inventory reveals the modest nature of most gains. Treasure chests overflowing with riches belong more to fiction than history. Survival depends on securing usable resources rather than seeking fantastical wealth hidden on remote islands. Clothing worn by pirates is often misrepresented. The iconic eye patches, extravagant hats, and bright fabrics popularized in fiction rarely appeared at sea. Instead, pirates dressed for function. In the shade of the mast, a sailor knots a simple bandana to keep sweat from his eyes. His shirt is faded, torn at the hem. Boots are practical, chosen for grip on wet decks. The calm simplicity of their attire reflects necessity, not theatrical flair. Pirate fashion, as remembered today, emerges more from artistic interpretation than historical accuracy. Parrots, too, belong mostly to legend. While pirates may have encountered exotic birds in tropical ports, keeping them aboard ships was impractical. Food and space were limited. In a quiet corner of the deck, a sailor faces crumbs to a small bird perched briefly on the railing before it flies away. Animals appear occasionally, but they are not companions of romanticized tales. The calm reality shows that pirate ships prioritized survival essentials. Mythical details like parrots become symbols crafted by later storytellers, adding color to narratives that otherwise might seem stark and demanding. Buried treasure is another enduring myth. Pirates rarely hid wealth underground. Instead, they spent or traded goods quickly, using supplies to sustain their crews. On a sandy beach, a pirate kneels to refill a water barrel rather than conceal valuables. The calm practicality reflects economic necessity. Hoarding treasure offers little advantage when mobility and readiness are crucial. The idea of buried riches emerges from fictional tales, not historical practice. Legends of maps marked with X's capture imaginations, but diverge sharply from the grounded priorities of real pirate life. The Jolly Roger flag becomes a powerful symbol. A black banner emblazoned with skull and bones communicates threat. On a breezy morning, pirates hoist the flag, its cloth snapping sharply above the mast. The calm efficiency of the act reveals strategic intent. The flag's purpose is to intimidate, persuading targets to surrender without conflict. Variations of the flag exist, some featuring hourglasses or swords. These symbols evolve into icons of piracy, shaping public perception. Over time, the flag's meaning extends beyond its original function, becoming a lasting emblem of rebellion in the cultural imagination. Governments respond to piracy with increasing force. Naval ships patrol key routes more aggressively. In a quiet office, an official signs orders authorizing crackdowns, his quill scratching steadily across parchment. Rewards are offered for information leading to pirate capture. This calm escalation reflects growing concern over disrupted trade. Authorities seek to reassert control over seas once loosely governed. The era of widespread piracy begins to wane as coordinated efforts tighten maritime security, making it harder for pirate crews to operate freely. Amnesty offers are introduced, giving pirates a chance to surrender without punishment. In a public square, a proclamation is read aloud, promising pardon to those who renounce their ways. A former pirate listens quietly, hand resting on a weathered hat. The decision weighs heavily. Some accept, returning to civilian life. Others doubt the sincerity of such offers or see no viable future on land. The calm uncertainty underscores a turning point, where choices become personal rather than collective, marking the beginning of the end for many pirate communities. Captured pirates face trial. In a crowded courtroom, a defendant stands with shackled wrists, eyes lowered. The judge reads charges in a measured tone. Witnesses speak calmly of attacks at sea. Sentences are often severe, intended to deter others. The quiet formality contrasts with the chaotic image of piracy. These proceedings reflect a legal system's effort to reclaim authority over maritime spaces, reinforcing the message that piracy is no longer tolerated. The fate of convicted pirates serves as a somber reminder of the risks inherent in their chosen path. Executions become public events. Crowds gather near the gallows, murmuring softly as condemned pirates approach. A breeze stirs clothing and hair. The atmosphere is subdued, not celebratory. The calm procession underscores the gravity of the moment. Authorities use these displays to reinforce control and discourage rebellion. For many, the sight marks the final unraveling of pirate legend into stark reality. The end is quiet, devoid of the bravado often imagined in stories. The era of piracy fades not with dramatic clashes, but with measured enforcement and shifting priorities. As the 18th century progresses, naval power strengthens. Larger fleets and improved weaponry secure trade routes more effectively. In a shipyard, craftsmen hammer metal onto a reinforced hull, sparks flying briefly before fading. The calm industry reflects a new era of dominance at sea. With fewer vulnerabilities, opportunities for piracy diminish. The balance shifts decisively toward order. leaving little space for outlaw crews to thrive. The world that once enabled piracy transforms steadily, guided by technological advancement and centralized control. Some former pirates adapt by becoming sailors, merchants, or settlers in coastal communities. In a small village, a man repairs fishing nets, his movements slow and practiced. He glances toward the horizon, where memories of the open sea linger. The calm routine reflects a quieter life. Though no longer part of a pirate crew, his skills remain valuable. This transition underscores the human dimension of piracy. Behind every legend stands an individual capable of change, seeking stability after years spent navigating danger and uncertainty. Over time, stories of pirates evolve further. Writers embellish their exploits, transforming them into larger-than-life figures. In a candlelit room, an author dips a quill into ink, imagining daring adventures. The calm scratch of pen on paper shapes perceptions that will influence generations. These narratives prioritize excitement over truth, cementing myths that overshadow historical realities. Pirates become symbols of freedom and defiance, their hardships softened or ignored. The legend grows, carried by art, literature, and eventually film, far removed from the grounded lives of those who once sailed under black flags. Today, the image of pirates persists in popular culture. Costumes, movies, and festivals celebrate a romanticized version of their world. In a museum, a visitor pauses before a display case containing rusted tools and fragments of ship timber. The calm exhibit offers a quieter, more authentic glimpse into the past. These remnants remind us that real pirates were not caricatures, but people shaped by circumstance. Their lives reflect hardship, adaptability, and complex social structures. The legend remains, but beneath it lies a deeper story grounded in resilience and survival. Let your thoughts drift across the ocean you have traveled. From crowded docks to quiet coves, from democratic decks to fading legends, the journey softens into memory. Pirate life emerges not as fantasy, but as a tapestry of hardship, camaraderie, and calculated risk. The calm understanding settles. These were real people navigating uncertain waters, building communities where fairness mattered, even in lawless spaces. The myth may shine brightly, but the truth rests in quieter moments. The creak of timber, the ripple of waves, the steady breath of sailors who lived beyond the legend. Return now to the present, where the room around you is still. The sea, once vivid in your imagination, recedes into gentle thought. You may hear only your own breathing or the faint hum of distant sounds. The story of pirates settles like calm water, leaving a sense of perspective and peace. Legends fade, but understanding endures. You are grounded, safe, and at rest. Let your mind ease into quiet, carried by the steady rhythm of the night. The world grows soft, and the ocean, for now, is silent.